I know your works, that you have a name, that you are alive, but you are dead.
My name is Adamine Shaw, and I'm one of the few survivors of what has been known as the zombie apocalypse. They're everywhere, but they don't know they're dead. I used to be dead.
Stop. This isn't the beginning of the story. No, sirree. It started long before this.
We are at the moment receiving unconfirmed reports that London has been sealed off by the military.
But sources say that single bullet was not enough to stop the man from attacking the other's face. They say the cops had to fire several shots to finally stop that man.
That's right, Diane. Doctors still appear to be baffled by this new so-called super flu. They're still unsure of exactly how it spreads, and with it reaching near epidemic proportions, the quarantine was enacted and enforced by the National Guard early this morning.
A very mysterious disease that causes symptoms like narcolepsy, which for some reason is triggered by eating.
Despite popular belief, you don't need to be bitten to become a zombie. Just take a look here. Countless numbers of people, families, friends, all aimlessly walking the earth in search of their next meal, their next fix. If that's you, say aye. Before you grab your baseball bat and a pair of your favorite running shoes, first things first, you have to know your enemy. I look dead, don't I? Truth be told, I've felt that way for most of my life. I guess I've really always been a zombie. Oxford describes a zombie as a living corpse under the spell of witchcraft, a person who is and appears lifeless, apathetic, or completely unresponsive to their surroundings. Ironically, zombie was also the name of my favorite cocktail. I know what you're thinking. What a waste of a life. I guess you never really realize how bad things are until you get out of it. Until you're truly alive. I was bitten by a friend who was bitten by a friend who was bitten by a friend. You know how it goes. They're everywhere, all around you. You see them every day. Bonafide zombies, the walking, shambling undead. You can recognize them by their unhealed wounds, their vacant, unintelligent stares, and their lazy demeanor. Notice the shuffling and the poor communication skills. Zombies maintain only the most primal instincts. There are a number of steps you can take to make sure you don't end up as an undead appetizer. And as always, prevention is better than cure. This was me, just a few months ago. Just a lifeless body wandering around the streets in search of brains. We all were. I was one of the many. I'm not sure where or how this whole zombie apocalypse started, but along the way, I got infected.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Greetings and thank you for purchasing How to Survive a Zombie Attack. In this instructional tape, we'll be discussing 5 easy steps you could take in preparing against a zombie attack. Now, in the words of famous Californian governor and the original T-1000, come with me if you want to live. Moving on to step number 1. Always remember to stop and think. This might seem like an obvious step, but it is most crucial to your survival. Forgetting to think before acting could result in a poor choice that could get you bitten, or even worse, dead. Step number 2. Moving to safety. That's right, folks. Staying out of harm's way is a good way to decrease the likeliness of being turned into a zombie. Zombies are prone to hang out in certain hotspots, most likely populated areas like clubs, bars, schools, and even malls. Finding and remaining in a safe environment is crucial to your survival. Step number 3. Find other survivors. If you're going to survive a zombie attack, you'll need a little help from a friend. Finding other survivors could prove vital. Not only can they encourage you when you feel like giving up, but share resources and knowledge when you need it most. Step number 4. Wear protective armor. Now, being fashion trendy seems somewhat trivial during a zombie apocalypse. T-shirts aren't bite-proof, you know. We recommend you get a thick coat of armor to protect you, starting with a helmet, a breastplate, strong yet comfortable running shoes. You'll need a shield, a sword to ward off attackers, and a belt to keep your pants from falling off, of course. Accidents are prone to happen, and the last thing you want is to be caught with your pants down during an attack. The last, final, and most important step, step number 5. Check yourself daily. Now, this might sound like a no-brainer, but it is vital to make sure that you haven't been infected. We recommend checking for signs of infection in the pupils, the mouth, the ears, and the heart. The absence of a strong heartbeat may well mean that you have been zombified. Well, that's all, folks. Thank you for tuning in and watching How to Survive a Zombie Attack. Please insert the next tape titled The Zombie Survival Cookbook, where we teach you easy to prepare meals during a zombie apocalypse.
Now, back to our show.
The good news is that it doesn't have to be that way. No, my friends. You and I have a choice. I know you're probably wondering how I went from being a zombie to being alive again. It's a less complicated story than you might think. The one thing I can honestly say is that I never ever want to return to being dead again. A few months ago, I was picked up and taken to the Spectral Intelligence Recovery Investigation Team headquarters. A bunch of scientists were experimenting with a cure. Turns out they chose me as their guinea pig. At first they tried all sorts of things. Hypnosis. Drugs. More drugs. My favorite, electroconvulsive therapy. And just when the scientists were starting to believe that there was no hope, they found him. Nobody knew where he came from, or how it was possible, but his blood became the cure. Unaffected and flawless, there was something in it that caused regeneration, caused the dead cells to become alive again.
Ah, she lives! Alright, I admit that sounded better in my head. Dr. Gabriel Reiner.
Where am I?
Well, this place, suppose you could call it a rehabilitation center.
How did I get here?
You were infected, we brought you here. Look, I'm not sure how much you remember, but a lot's changed. The world's not the same way you remember it. There was an outbreak. There was a virus, people got infected, and well, you got bitten and... You got bitten, you got infected. You died.
And how long was I dead?
There's no way to tell, really. Days, weeks, months. We honestly don't know.
But you found a cure.
Yeah.
I remember there was a man.
Well, the cure does come from one man. I can't explain it really, but well, here you are.
If you're watching this, I'm here to tell you that there is a cure. You no longer need to live in fear. See, I used to be a zombie, but now I'm alive.